Hey everybody, thanks for tuning back in to Crypto Mainly. My name's Lee. Let's just go straight into the content. Lots to talk about today. Okay, so we find ourselves at the point that I thought we were going to be headed. So uh, this is the point of decision time. However, I have noticed a couple of things which I'll talk to you about. Okay, so we find ourselves here back at this support, which is where I thought we would end up. But the worrying thing is that this move was quite sudden and fierce. There were very little bounces on the way down here, which is a concern. But I do still think that we are going to see ourselves somewhere in this kind of region to create this bear trap. Now the reason I say that is for a number of things. Which I'm looking at on chain data and things like that. But I can see that the reverse of this happening at the top is going to happen somewhere down here. I wouldn't be surprised if we actually see the price actually come into this region between the 78.6 and the 88.6. Okay, so we make it into this blue box territory, only to find that price turns around very quickly. Some things happened. This weekly close was very important. This was a daily. We were looking at this for a while, and we said either we'd get some consolidation in this purple triangle, or we would get the failure. And in actual fact, the failure came quicker than I expected, albeit somewhat expected. I didn't actually anticipate it happening quite so quickly. It may be that it happened so quickly because it was the market was trying to catch as many people out as it could whilst price was in this range. Everybody was celebrating the breakout from the 45,000 into this range, and so that the sudden sell off would make sense because it will have caught out the most amount of people. And as you'll know, the market is designed to take the most amount of people, the most amount of money from the most amount of people, the most amount of time. Don't ever forget that, guys. The market makers are there, continually. That the institutions and the big players are watching the same patterns that we are watching. And when you put it like that, there's every there's every possibility, if you like, that that these patterns of things are being created for the purpose of maximizing the profits for the big fish in the game. So please don't forget that, guys. That is a reality. So when we're trading, that's why it's high risk. The TA and things like that, tries to give you an edge, and it does work. TA does play out in the way, it's been around for a long, for longer than I have, and so there's a reason for that, and there's a reason that it works. But just bear in mind that those big players, the institutions, the exchanges, and things like that are looking at the same patterns, and they will counter trade what's happening in the market if it's beneficial for them to do that. So just be aware of that, guys. Okay, so let's go back to this first chart. So what's going to happen now? It may be that we find support here. It's looking like we are at the moment, but I can see us. As I've said before, let me just draw this on. I'm not really explaining this very well. Let me just draw this on for you. Yeah, I can see us coming down and actually breaking below this support line. And then everybody's kind of thinking, actually, we're going up for a retest here, and we start to roll over again. At which point, everybody is starting to go short, and then we get this, this movement that nobody's expecting, this bullish movement, which is basically the opposite of what's happened up here. We broke above the support, the resistance rather. We broke above the resistance. We were bouncing along it, finding support. Everybody was quite excited at the fact that we've got, not only got above 45,000, but we've also got above this, this sloping resistance here. And so lots of people were in the market, myself included, were quite excited about that. But however, the ball trap did play out. We got the rejection, and there were warning signs when you've got these, these attempts at breaking back through the resistance line, which were rejected. There were warning signs there, guys, and hopefully I managed to help some of you just to protect yourself from this move. So what's next? I mean, there's lots of ugly things that have happened. To be honest, I mean, if we look at this daily chart here, if we go to the weekly time frame, one of the things which which we were looking out for is that you have got a neckline. Let me just draw this for you because it's going to be easier to draw than explain. Okay, so you've got this. This is a very nice W sensation here, which is a bottoming pattern, and you've got the dotted line there, which is the neckline of this W. Um, so we're looking at this W sensation here. Okay, that's a bottoming pattern, which is made up by you've got a low here, a series of lows there, and a series of higher lows here, and and a neckline there. So that's a nice bottoming pattern, and we did break above it. We came back down as if we were going to retest it, but unfortunately we did fail below that. Now, I say unfortunately, I can see I can see an idea, have an idea of what might be happening here. And if I'll share that with you if you don't mind. But I think what's going to happen is, as I said about the bull trap situation at the top, we're going to be in a bear trap situation down the bottom here. I think if we look at the smaller time frames, we look like we've got this rising support, and we're actually on that support line now. Okay, we're right at support now. Whereas if we look at a daily and we look at this big triangle that everyone was looking at for a long time, let me just make that a bit clearer for you. I'm going to bring this triangle back into action, which is one that we were looking at before, where everybody was looking at it as being the breakout of this 45,000 mark. Just bring that back into fruition. You can see that actually, even if we come all the way back down to even below 39,000, in fact, I think the lowest that we can come is this measurement here, which is the 88.6 retracement, which is at 38,788. So say 38,800 for round numbers. I think that's the lowest that we can go. If we start to see candle closes below that, as I said before, then we're going to see sort of very low 30s again, unfortunately. But I can see what's happening is that the market is gearing up for this summer alt season, in my opinion. So I don't want to get your hopes up and have everybody sort of make some mistakes based on what I'm saying. Just sharing my opinion with you. Please don't take it as financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and a lot of what I'm saying actually here today in this video it is speculation based on experience rather than what the TA is showing us. Although there are some supporting factors here. It's interesting to see that currently we're at this purple box here was a keen area. If we go to the daily, actually it's easier to see on a daily. That pink box, if you like, was a keen area of resistance on a number of cases, and it turned to support and was acting as support in many cases. But we kind of flirted with that line. With that with that area there. But yeah, I think it's interesting to see. We're going to end up coming down here. The people that are looking at this type of pattern, this rising channel now, are going to think that we've that the pattern's failed. But you can see from this one that actually support is actually at 38,800 down the bottom here. So we could go as low as that 38,800. On this one is actually the lower part of the blue box. So you can see there it's actually the 88.6 on this chart is 38,760. So again, 38,800. And I can see what's going to happen. This is what I think. And as I say, I'm only speculating at this stage. Is that we're going to come down into this low area. People are going to think that we're breaking down from this support. On a bigger time frame, we're actually not breaking down from that support until we get below 38,800. There's going to be a classic a bear trap scenario here where the market makers wait for everybody to go short. We'll probably get a bounce, and then it will look like it's rolling over again, maybe even a second retest of this blue box area, and people will be loading up on their short positions. Only to, in fact, if I show you this already, you can see already that the short positions are already starting to load up. If I just show you that. So you can see already the shorts. This is the Bitcoin shorts So you can see already that the shorts are starting to load up already. There's plenty of way to go. You can see there's plenty of room for this to continue upwards. But it's interesting to see that the shorts are already loading up um, when we're kind of on this support level. This shows that there's a little way to go yet before we're actually at the base of the support. So yeah, I just think there's a bear trap cooking here. If we look at this, go back to this one on the weekly. Just move that blue triangle down a little bit lighter so you can see. So the big purple dotted line here is the neckline of this bottoming pattern. Now this bottoming pattern is very powerful. This is a weekly time frame, and this bottoming pattern that we've got here on a weekly time frame is very powerful, not to be underestimated. Okay, so we've got this, we've got the neckline, we broke out above it, and admittedly we've dropped back down below it, but this is all part of this bull trap scenario that I'm talking about now. So this is creating the perfect the perfect storm, should we say, in people's minds, because that they're thinking that also that now we've lost the neckline of this W, but in actual fact this is a weekly pattern. So we could we could easily bounce around in here, get back down to that 38,800. We could, sorry, my mouse, sorry, bear with me for a sec. So we could easily, come back down here, bounce around in this area before we actually get that breakout. You'll notice that actually that there is, another area of interest here. So if we go, we draw, you can see that there's this area here. So you can see there's a new area of interest, shall we say, which is the neckline of the W, and this rising support. The neckline followed by this rising support now creates this new area of interest where we may end up consolidating a little bit inside here for the course of this week. I think. Bear in mind this is a weekly, and I wouldn't be surprised if we come down and then by the end of this week's close, closes back above that neckline. That wouldn't surprise me at all. Watch out for that, guys. If it does happen above 42,380. So at the end of this week, if we're closing back above $42,380, then that really will solidify, my suspicions that this week is going to be just the bear trap that's loading people up on their short positions, ready for the actual takeoff, and then into the summer and into the nice alt season and everything, which I'm expecting for the summer this year. So let's just have a quick look at Ethereum, see what's happened with Ethereum. You can see we got the breakdown. We spoke about this measured move here as being a possibility from from the peak of the high down to the low of the wick. So this peak of this high, peak of the wick, if you like, there down to this one will be an AB, and then you get your CD motion, and you can see that the CD motion it is starting to it is actually starting to come into fruition. So don't be surprised to see Ethereum come back down to 2,900. Bitcoin make a further down into this blue box. Ethereum down into the 2,900 zone. Bitcoin dominance. We've got this bottoming pattern which we spoke about on dominance. We've broken the neckline now of this W bottoming pattern. We have broke the neckline, which does suggest that we will get. We've spoken about this in yesterday's video, but we will get this move play out, which will mean that dominance will come up into this zone before it rolls over. I still think it is going to roll over, but we will get we're going to get this action here. So from here upwards, is going to be negative price action in terms of Bitcoin price. So when we look at that supports the fact that if we look at the move from here, from the bottom to the top on the Bitcoin chart, it's the move from this peak here down to the bottom, and you can see looking at the dominance that the move is around about the same again. So let me just make that clearer. Get rid of these scribbles. So yeah, the move, if you like, from here to where we are now, you know, for it's a similar type move that's coming, which means that if we go back to to dominance, this type of move, the similar move again, will take us into this blue box territory. So I'll just draw that for you so that some of you will know what I'm talking about. Others won't. So let me just, so this move here, duplicated by the same again as per dominance, will take us down into the base of that blue box region. So it wouldn't surprise me either. So you can see how the market, different ways of looking at it are all adding up to the same thing. So watch out for that. We looked at these things now. We looked at dominance. This is the tether dominance. So it's the amount of the amount of market share that's currently in tether, and obviously stablecoin, and this is this is looking like we're going to get continuation back up into this into this region here. So somewhere between 4.9%, or let's say 5%, somewhere between 5% and 5.2%. That would also coincide with the money flowing into the stable coins as the price comes down from Bitcoin and also down with Ethereum. You'll get this continuation to the upside whilst money flows in. But when we get back up to the this blue zone again, if you look back through time, we look on a daily here. When we get anywhere up into that zone, that's a point where, as you can see here, once we get into that 5% zone, well, you've got one rejection there, you've got a second one, a third one, a fourth one, a fifth one, a sixth one. Yeah, there's very, very strong resistance at that level. So anywhere between 5 and 5.2% on tether dominance is likely where we see our rejection. This hopefully will roll over, continue to the downside, and we'll end up back down here, so we're going to get some sort of bounces along the way down, but we're going to end up back down here. At which point, this move here, this move here is going to be the move that we get when we get this bounce from here. So, I mean, that's my thoughts on the market, guys. There's a lot of speculation, in the video today. There's a lot of hopium. There's a lot of speculation, but there is also a lot of information and research that I do apart from just looking at the charts, which are all adding to this type of thing. So let's see what happens. Hopefully, we manage to protect some of you from this move, and watch for this bear trap, because if you get into if you've not sold and you're holding your positions and you're here, my advice is what I would do. Let's put it this way: what I would do. I can't give advice, of course, because I'm not a financial advisor. But if it was me, and I had held this move here, then I would be watching and waiting and holding, because this summer I think is going to take people by surprise. I think the summer's going to be very nice and it's going to be sunny times. So bear that in mind. I'm going to leave it at that, guys. Probably spoke too much again today. I know that you've said that you like shorter videos, so I'm going to try and concentrate on setting a timer up and things, and trying to keep my videos a lot shorter than they are. But there's a lot to talk about, and there's a lot of information that I'd like to get out there. And forgive me for trying to cram it all into these big long videos, but I just would like to try and help as much as I can. When I can see what's happening here, you've got this bull trap followed by a bear trap, followed by a nice summer alt season, which probably nobody's expecting when Bitcoin price is down in this area down the bottom here. So anyway, guys, I wish you all the best in trading. Trade safely. Think about risk management, position sizing, all those things, and protect yourselves accordingly. And I look forward to speaking to you again tomorrow. Thank you very much for listening. Like and subscribe. Take care now. All the best. Don't forget, guys, always take profits and buy something real. All the best. Take care.
Bounds.